Good morning, everybody. Gregory Zodworld here. Hair coming out the side of my hat. Headed off to work. Going to talk about a couple things today. If you find value in the video or you feel like it might enhance your life, go ahead and give it a like, and please take consideration into maybe even subscribing. So today I want to talk about we don't get to be the judge of that. And it's a really important concept because a lot of people want to be the judge of who they are to others. Well, that's fine and dandy. You know who you are in your heart, and you have an idea of who others are in their heart, and so that's good. But the plain truth is, if you think that you're something good, bad, skilled, whatever, and somebody tells you that you're not, now you might feel the other way that, oh, well, he says I'm not, but I think I am. Well, that's great, but when it comes to, certain aspects, you don't get to be the judge of that, especially the aspects that retain other people's opinion. So like, hey, I'm a nice guy. Okay, well, who around you in your circle is telling people that you're a nice guy? I'm a giving guy. Well, are people out there, yeah, that guy's a giving guy. So respect is a good one too. Respect is probably actually the one that I'm going to try to focus on a little bit more, because people believe that they're giving respect, but sometimes they don't see, anything beyond what is a traditional standard of respect, which is very minimal in this country. Chivalry is dead. So we have a bunch of upset women and we have a bunch of upset men, and what happens is they end up bickering amongst themselves. Look at this guy. He wants to get in. So there you go. Let's make him famous. I was like, look how stupid that is. And there you go. That guy probably walks around and tells people, oh, I respect people, and I'm a respectful driver. Well, that was totally disrespectful. And what did he do it for? Just to get ahead of me? And you know where he's going? He's going the other way. He's not even going through the light. And so, like, if you want to race to your death, have at it, because if you race to places, the finish line is always the same place, And I don't want to get too far off subject, but with that being said, life isn't about, keeping it. It's about having enough so that you can give a lot. But anyways, going back to this, respect. So let's say that a client says, oh, well, I respect you. Okay. But when you talk to that person, they don't listen to what you're saying, and they can only hear the derogatory things that come out of your mouth. And a matter of fact, when you're talking about something that in their eyes might be out of your ability, the first thing they have to say is, oh, well, this is why you can't do that. This is what's going to happen. This is what I think. Well, first of all, a lot of times people, when they do this, they're telling these other people in the middle of their dream that that's not a good dream and you're not qualified to make that dream happen. But they don't have any other inquiry to add to it, like, this is what I think you could do better. This is what I think is better for you. They just want to tell you that you're not qualified to do that, and you're probably not going to be successful at doing that. Got me a little boogies on my nose this morning here. But anyways, so with that being said, that's going to bug me. It's a crusty one. But anyways, I'm gonna like clean my nose real quick here. Sorry, guys. Uh, but anyway, so getting back to the point, we are not the ones who get to say that respect was given. We are only the ones to judge if respect was received, not given. I'll say that again. We are not the judges of the respect given. We are the judges of the respect received, because everyone else has a different opinion of what respect is. And so if you are old, you're going to have a different type of respect mentality. If you're young, you're going to have a different type of respect mentality. And I've talked about this quite a few times, actually, and you might have heard this if you watch any of my other videos, but there's this little old lady that I went to go work for one time, and she's just like, oh, I'm just a nice old lady. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, she seems like she's, nice old lady. Okay. Well, I start talking to her neighbor and drumming up some business through her neighbor, which is what I do when I go to work. I usually try to, drum up some business. She comes outside and she has this like furious look on her face, and she says, well, are you talking to my neighbor? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, you can't talk to my neighbor, because if you talk to my neighbor, then I can't have you here. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And I tell her, well, me and your neighbor just made some deals, and I'm going to do some work for her. And she goes, oh, no. If you work for her, you can't work for me. And mind you, this lady just told me that she's just a nice old lady. Okay, if she's a nice old lady, then why has she not figured out a better solution to getting along with her neighbor or respecting the people that she brings on her property to work for her than to go out in her front yard and talk to a person that she just met who's doing some work for her, and then start complaining that you're talking to her neighbor. And then that's just part of it. It even went further, and I don't want to go too deep into it, but it went so far that she started complaining about the worker that I had there, and that he wasn't doing a good job, and that she didn't feel like he was trustworthy, and why would I have him there on her property? This is a really important project. And finally what I told her is, I said, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and let you finish the job, ma'am. And so I left with, I'd say 90% of the work was already done. I left with no pay, so you can't be mad at that. So I left, didn't accept any payment, and then I ended up paying the person that worked for me out of my pocket to take care of, him, because it wasn't his fault that lady, was just a nice old lady. So when people say, I'm just a nice old lady, or they tell you, oh, I'm a good guy, or they tell you that I respect you or whatever, well, you might want to think about that, because the thing is they're telling you it because they want you to know that that's how they feel. But the reality is they don't want to hear the cold, honest truth that, well, you're not the judge of if you respect me. You're not the judge of if you're a nice old lady, and you're certainly not the judge of anything that I think about you. Period. That's it. So I think that we could go on and on this subject, but really at the end of the day, and I talk about this in a lot of videos too, it comes down to intent. What is the intent of that person? Are they a disrespectful asshole, but they have your best intentions in mind? Perhaps. Are they a nice individual, always communicating from a place of compassion, and they totally don't think that you're as good as them, and that you can't do what they can do, and that they're, have this ability to just know that you can't do things that they can or something? Maybe. So you just never know. Wow, that was a really cool car back there. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it was a a Tesla, but it was all iridescent, like someone, put some rainbows all over it. It was kind of cool. But yeah, I get sidetracked pretty easy. So that's like, that's that. Anyways, a lot of people lately have been checking out my channel. I'm getting more traffic. I'm getting more subscribers. So if you found value in the video, go ahead and smash the like button for me, please. And go ahead and share it with somebody that might need this information, because this is valuable information. And I'll leave us on the same thing that I said again. I'm going to repeat it. So we are not the judges of respect given. We are the judges of respect received. And this could really help people out in their lives. So have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.